In our last piece of news, in the last piece of news when we get around here, and I'm calling it the who's interrupting my kung fu section of the news. Somehow China's government will now be using AI to revamp a lot of Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan classics.
Come
Why?
on, man. Come on.
I don't
Leave the shit alone. It ain't broke.
I don't like it.
Skynet Phase 3.
I don't like it. I really don't like it.
We took
Nigga,
over.
You want to know how much I don't like it?
Now, Billy, how many times I told you not to call here and interrupt my kung fu?
I'm just saying. I don't like it. You know, they're not remaking any movies. They're doing the George Lucas.
And that's the problem.
We seen that.
By the power of Grayskull. What the hell?
They're enhancing Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan classics for examples. And
Do you really want to see Enter the Dragon where Bruce Lee goes Super Saiyan?
I don't want to see that at all.
Oh, or they do the Drunken Master with Jackie Chan.
Yeah. What happened to just the old school way of like revamping your films without doing that, without using AI?
Because everybody wants to see stuff in 4K and 8K, and honestly, the stuff that was actually made during the late 80s, early 90s was actually great filmmaking.
Mm-hmm.
Just leave it alone.
Yep. I go to YouTube to watch my favorite kung fu flicks. 5 Deadly Venoms. Let's go.
Wow. I like the grainy look. It's fine.
I mean, Snake and Crane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be so specifically and particularly upset. Like the action movies of that ilk was like me and my mom's thing. Like this was my entry into film and action film specifically. Mm-hmm. And it's like I don't want to see Game of Death in 4K if it means you're going to get rid of Bruce 2 and copy paste Bruce Lee over his I don't.
I know exactly what
in such a very specific way that I want to feel like it's me personally, and because I am an uncultured swine, I'm going to feel like it's the worst thing that China has ever done, and they're doing it to me specifically.
I don't like it.
I'm a crying
because what's going to happen, and what's going to happen is they're probably going to do like re-releases overseas anyway, and then they'll probably come over here next, and all that's going to be on mine is finding the faults.
Yep.
You're not even going to be focused on the film itself. You're going to be worried about where it looks
every mistake, every error, every glitch.
That's for y'all that have seen it already, not for the kid. You know what this is? This for y'all is what, like you said, Chris, what the prequel Star Wars series was. Me, I'm the OG 4, 5, and 6. When those 3 movies came out, I said, "What did you do? But what did you do? Why would you do this? It was fine." And then they fucked around with 4, 5, and 6.
That's where I was like,
the new kids are gonna love it.
That's where I had the mix up at, or the upset at is that I didn't like.
Gonna will.
Do you really want to see a remake of Master of the Flying Guillotine?
No.
Oh hell no!
Sorry, hold on.
Respectfully,
I feel like Kira, are you saying that you are like not aware of?
Hey, not the prequel warning.
No, she's a purist.
What were you gonna say?
Yeah, she's a
like.
purist.
You've seen the kung fu movies, right?
What does that have to do with the conversation that we're having?
That's what I'm about to say. I'm about to say the same thing. I thought you was going after what she said for Star Wars.
You know,
I think that's his point. That's his point. I think that's the point.
What does it have to do? What I'm saying is, I like the way that the original films looked. Don't fucking touch them. But for the new kids that had never seen it before, it was the greatest thing on the planet.
Okay.
Me knowing what it looked like originally was great. Me seeing what they did and changed, I'm like, but what for who?
It wasn't
Who did you
broke.
do?
And let's be honest.
It wasn't broke. There was nothing wrong with
before
it.
we check out, let's be honest. At the time when those prequels were first released, that was a new thing. The CGI was a completely new thing. So Disney was the first to put their hands on something like that and really play with it.
Yeah.
However, it does not hold up. When whether you have it on DVD, whether you have it on Blu-ray, whether they show it like on TNT or whatever, you look at it completely different now, and you say, "Wow, it doesn't look that great." We're not saying anything about the storyline. The storyline is completely fine. The look, the aesthetic, it doesn't hold up.
You know what it makes me do? It makes me. I'm holding my purse a little bit tighter.
That's why when they went and re-released 4, 5, and 6 and did the same thing, adding stuff, I'm like, you didn't need to do that. Because now it really looks off. It looks completely unnatural. That's why when they did 7, 8, 9, especially with 7, and first thing fans were looking at, they went back to Jim Henson. They went back to the puppets, and it worked.
Like it just seemed grounded.
Yeah. You know, so what, it was almost the same story retold in a different format.
Yeah.
They went back to basics, which was the best thing they could have done. There's nothing wrong with using CGI, you know, but don't do it. Just there's an abundance in which you use it.
Just because you should, you never thought about it if you shouldn't.
Right. You right now in movies, you're starting to see more and more people say practical effects are working.
Yep.
So
sorry, man, I can't watch the original Star Wars because I was in the theater when the original one came out. So trust me, that memory lays heavy on my mind.
So, all right. Well, here we go.
Wrap-up protocol initiated, Captain.